mpaka ukafika Mombasa na ukajipata kwa hiyo?
Okay. My official name is Adelaila Akoth Omondi, but everyone knows me as Adele Omondi. So I booked a bus heading to Mombasa on 14th. I booked online, then picked my receipt. Ilikuwa basi ya 9:45 p.m. I picked my receipt when I came to Mash, when we boarded. Then I sat on my seat number 37. Then after I sat on my seat, the gentleman that eventually sat on seat number 38 was moving around from one seat to another. He was sitting on one seat, alafu wenye hizo seat wakikuja, anatoka nenda seat ingine. So eventually he sat on seat number 40, which was on the driver's side back bench. And then when wenye hizo viti walipokuja, he stood and then came to where I was. I had placed my bag on the seat number 38. So akaniambia toa nitoe bag. Then I asked him, you are all over the place. Where are you supposed to be sitting? And then he said, ndio kiti yangu. So I removed my bag and then I sat. And then he sat and then I put on headphones and started watching Netflix. We continued with the journey. A few times he kept trying to talk to me and I kept ignoring him. When we got to Mtitoande, he got off the bus. I remained in the bus because normally when I travel, unless I need to use the toilet, I do not leave the bus. So he left, and then as the bus was almost leaving, I could see him outside na vikombe viwili akipoesha chai. So akapoesha chai and then he entered as the bus started moving. So alipofika karibu na pale nimeketi, mikono yake ilikuwa ina shake. So as it was shaking, he was pouring the tea on me, on my hands. Then he asked me, nimshikie ndio aweze kuketi. I held the cups, he sat down, and then when I wanted to hand them back, kaniambia ngojea kidogo, sijui nichukue, sijui bag, sijui nifanye nini, sijui niweke tablet. Then he took a bit longer. So nikachukua tu hizo vikombe nikamwekea hapo karibu na yeye. And then after that I turned to look at the window and that was it. The next time I woke up on Wednesday at Coast General. I woke up, found 3 of my friends in hospital with me, and that's when they explained to me that I had been drugged. They told me that I had been taken first to Central Police Station by the conductor for MASH and a tuk-tuk driver. They got an OB, and that OB is what they used to bring me to Coast General. And then now they started calling a couple of people, and eventually they called several of my family members. And then my family members led them to a friend of a family who stays in Mombasa, called Wesley. So now Wesley is the one who was told to come to Coast General, and something had happened to me. That's what he was told. So when he got there, they did a handover and just left. But before they did the handover, the conductor asked Wesley for 1,000 shillings, and the tuk-tuk driver also asked for 1,000 shillings. But Wesley akawambia haezi wapatia pesa until he makes sure nimeshughulikiwa kwanza. He will send them money a bit later. So, when I wasn't discharged. When we wanted to get discharged, wakasema there's not really a discharge that's going to happen because I hadn't been admitted per se. Hakukuwa na admission imefanywa, so there was no need for a discharge. So my neighbor, who's also a very good friend of mine, insisted that we cannot leave the hospital until we have a document that shows that I was in Coast General and that something had happened to me, because I'll insist that that is what is needed to file, to follow up with the case at the police station. One of the nurses pulled my friend on the side, akaanza kumwambia, ambia tu rafiki yako achane na hii story, because this is something that happens sana na hizi buses za huku Mash, Tahmid and Dreamline. The nurse mentioned those 3 buses na akasema, but nothing ever happens. Juu hata mtu akifuatilia huwa anapelekwa hivi, and then it just goes off. So the point that I noticed, the point that I now started feeling that I feel like something more might have happened to me other than the dragging is when I got home. And upon checking, because when I woke up nilijipata na nguo zenye sio zangu, and then my clothes had been folded and kept in a Uhuru bag. So now when I was checking my clothes, I realized my underwear was not there. So now I started trying to find out, like, okay, where is my underwear? Who has my underwear? And so now I started trying to follow up with my friends, like, Mulini, did you find me with an underwear? Was I with an underwear? Because I know I wore an underwear and a panty liner. So for me, having an underwear and a panty liner and then not having it, and then having the rest of my clothes there, and then that is the iyo na socks ndio zina miss na viatu, did not make a lot of sense to me. So now I started asking them, Nikiwa Coast General, what did they do? Did they do a swab? Did they do a rape kit test? Was I given, did they do anything that would suggest that proper care for rape, for exposure has been done? Then I found out, first of all, hakuna sikupelekwa GVRC center, sikufanyiwa a rape kit test, and now I wasn't given anything in regards to like PEP or something that would have helped me. So now I started again trying to find out, like, okay, what happened? How can I get help? How can I get a file? How can I get assistance? And at some point, I tried to follow up with Coast General mara nyingi. It didn't work out. So now I decided to go back to MASH, because the only person I came in contact with the entire time was this man. So I tried calling MASH to ask for the details of this man. Nikaanza kuzungushwa. Nikaanza kuzungushwa. First nikaambiwa ngojea kidogo tunakupigia, and then after some time they stopped picking up my call. On 17th, I met up with Wesley. He gave me my pouch that had my ID and the medical forms. They're in my bag. The medical forms and the receipt and the things that he had been given by MASH POA. So he gave them to me, and then I immediately went to Central with the OB. So when I got to Central, I talked to a lady, a nice officer. Akaniambia, akaniambia ti, oh, ni wewe ndo ulikuwa umeletwa nini nini, and then she was like, yeah, she kind of made it seem like, oh, nakukumbuka because kesi yako ililetwa hapa. So she told me, nataka utoke hapa uende kwa DCIO saizi kule Urban and talk to the DCIO, tell him what happened and you're going to get help. Akaniambia, enda tu sahi, do not even waste time. So nikatoka nikaenda. When I got to the DCIO, I explained everything that happened. The DCIO told me someone was going to follow up with me. Alafu akaniambia there's a lady that was going to call me in regards to when I can come in to do another statement. And then I decided again to try and call MASH just to find out, like, when I was removed from the bus, was I naked? Did I have clothes? Yeah, just trying to find out, because again, my underwear is missing. Something that I know I had on plus a panty liner. I just want to find out exactly what happened. So I really tried. And even my friend Wesley had really tried kufuatilia with MASH, and they were so elusive. Even the lady officer told me that walikuwa memwambia that seat number 38, who was my seatmate, had not registered. So they didn't have any of his details on file. So she told me that, itabidi tungoje mpaka Tuesday. Waiting until Tuesday after a situation of where you think you have been raped does not make sense. It is long holiday naelewa, it's Easter, family time, but waiting until Tuesday did not make sense to me. So I just wanted answers. Woke up yesterday, went to my social media and just started asking and trying to get my friends who have more social standing on social media just to find out ni nini ilifanyika, what happened. Nipeeni two answers. Tell me who sat in seat number 38, because that is the only person who I had any form of contact with until the time nilidragiwa, that huyo ndio the only person. So that will be the first suspect. That will be the one suspect that I would try and follow up with. I renewed my lines, went to Safaricom to get a statement. Nikapata money had been withdrawn. First, 1,000 had been withdrawn from an M-Pesa that coincidentally iko karibu na Mash, iko karibu na ofisi za Mash. And then again nikapata money had been sent. The rest of the money that I had been sent to someone by the name Ramadan Mangale. But Safaricom told me they cannot give me the full statement. But when I gave them the OB number, they told me using that OB number, they can now release the full statement and they'll give it later on to the policemen who will come and follow up. Me, I'm stressed out. I just want to know what happened. Like ni nini lifanyika? Why is Mash telling people that they don't have records of this person? Why is Mash again telling someone that? Because conductor at some point aliambia told someone that this person was my boyfriend. That was not my boyfriend. Why is Mash giving one story? Why are you telling the cops you don't have these details? Again, why are you saying this person is my boyfriend? Mbona mnapeana details zenye ni incomplete? And then they sort of showed my friend Wesley the manifest. And the manifest only had number 1 to 37. City yangu ilikuwa 37. It didn't have 38, 39, and 40. So again, nikapata tu hiyo pia, it's again another fishy story. So when I put up my story on Facebook, I got inboxes from several people telling me, oh, this also happened to me. Mash did this. The buses that have been mentioned, to be honest, Mash, Tahmid, Dreamline, na Baska. Zimekuwa mentioned in my inbox over and over again. Oh, this happened to me. Oh, mi niliamka 3 days later. Oh, mi niliamka sijui 2 days later. Oh, mi niliamka 4 days. My colleague, my sister. Because it's not just women. I have gotten 4 men have personally come to my inbox to tell me it happened to them. 2 of these men walitumia Mash. Moja alitumia Tahmid. Moja alitumia Baska. So, my appeal, my sincere appeal, man, I'm going crazy. Mi nataka tu kujua what happened. Where is my underwear? Where did my underwear go? At what point was my underwear removed? Who removed my underwear? And then again, kuna kwanga na CCTV. This bus office has a CCTV. This bus office is supposed to have, because every time I book, I have been using Mash 5 good years. And I use Mash at least every month, mara kama 3, 4. I am using Mash traveling from Nairobi to Mombasa. So every time they ask me for details, jina, namba ya simu, ID number, na email address. So it does not make sense that all of a sudden on the 14th of April, they decided to book in. Unajua mtu angekuwa ameingia katikati ya njia, I would say, okay, yeah, makes sense. Aliingia the same time as the rest of us before the bus left. So it does not make sense to say you do not have these details. Because now I'm starting to think, is it a syndicate? Is it something you're doing? Because again, why is Coast General, why is a nurse telling my friends to tell me and advise me not to follow up? Does that mean it is a syndicate? Does that mean ni kitu wanafanyanga? Does that mean it's a whole thing that is done between Mash and in conjunction with Coast General, in conjunction, because now I'm just wondering, because again, even if the police want to help, they are not getting the exact cooperation that they should be getting from Mash. So pia hao, I cannot blame the policemen because they're helpless in this situation. We are all helpless. The only people who can help us ni Mash. As for Coast General, refusing to open a file on me, refusing to give me rape kit test, refusing to give me PEP, I don't even know where to start and where to finish. The only thing I can say is, okay, we are living in a very shitty country. If things like this can be happening, mnisaidie tu hiyo tu. Just, sorry, naomba tu I just need answers hiyo tu. I am traumatized. Wewe ndio umefanya nitoke kwa nyumba. I have been unable to leave my house since I came back. You've made me leave my house. I do not want to be outside because now I'm like, yani it's just, and I heavily rely on bus transport to travel for work. So now I'm asking myself, do I need to buy myself a chopper ndio nikuwe nikizunguka? Or again, now I need to start asking myself, okay, now check the list of the bus companies. Gani ni safe? Because so many of us trust these bus companies. Because me, I'm thinking, if I'm giving you all the details, I believe in my safety. I believe I am giving you this details so that I can be safe. So that if something happens to me and I come to, and people come to Mash and ask, what happened to Adele? They'll be, oh yeah, this happened. But if I'm not getting that cooperation, if I'm not getting that, you know, sasa unashangaa, who is going to give you the justice? Who is going to assist you? Are they collaborators? Are they conspiring with these people? Do they know that person? Those are the things that are going through my mind. I'm like, or is it them that actually, is it them that actually hire people to come and do things like this? Because my inbox is full of, hey, usinyamaze hata mimi walinifanyia. And people are even dating from as early as 2023, 2024, 2025. Someone even told me on my post, this is the third case this week. Hii wiki tu. So, I don't know. Me.
Pale hospitali, did they do tests to know that kweli you were drugged and nini ulikuwa umedragiwa nayo? Ama what did they tell you? What did they find out?
Even the way that slip was written, you cannot even tell what drug was there. The only thing I can say they did ni kunieka drip. Hii ndio mark yangu ya drip. The only thing you can say is they put a drip on me. No other drug in the system. Drip.
Just for you to wake up?
Just for me to wake up. I was even being told at some point nilipewa maziwa nikatapika damu. Kama nilitapika damu, what is it that made me tapika damu? What kind of test did they do to establish that alitapika hii damu because of 1, 2, 3? Because one of the most common drugs I know that is used, everyone knows dragon's breath. It can either be mtu anaweza kukuongelesha, mtu anaweza eka kwa kitu, it can be in the food, I just want answers. Mimi answers too, and justice. So that something like this does not happen. It has happened to people before. It has happened to me. Something like this does not happen to anyone else, ever. So that bus companies can be very vigilant. Because we are trusting you with our money to get us wherever we are going safely.
How much in terms of cash and valuables did you lose?
I lost 2 phones. And then I lost a total of 56,000 because there was cash in my purse. And there was cash in my purse and there was money on my M-Pesa. But coincidentally, when my purse was given out to Wesley, ilipeanwa na 2,500. So I'm like, okay, did Mash steal? Now, sasa kuna maswali because did Mash steal the rest or did my seatmate steal alafu akasema wacha nimwachie hii affair? It's not making sense.
How much was in the purse?
Because in my phone I had 42,000 and in my purse I had about, to make it 56 I had about 14. Yeah. Nikabaki na 2,000.
So how was the man dressed? And if you see him today, can you recognize him?
Yes, I can recognize him. He was dressed in a kofia. Alikuwa na kofia ya black. He had worn a bomber jacket. He had a black t-shirt. And he had jeans and he had sport shoes that alikuwa anakaa mtu amejiweka vizuri. He did not look like a funny person. He did not look, tuseme alikuwa amepiga luku, let's just say that, because he looks like a well-dressed person and then he has a beard that's black and with hints of grey. Na alikuwa he had worn specs. Yeah.
So their CCTV. So if they go and check those people who alighted from that bus, you can recognize the person if you get to see the people. And do you want Nash to release that CCTV footage for that day?
Yes. I do want MASH to release that CCTV footage because you see now MASH are trying to make it seem like mini chizi flani, sijui Kenya nasema. I want them to release that, even if they're not going to release the footage at Mtito, because at Sparkle Center ndio pale MASH wanakuanga na office na their restaurant, and that's because I have been there too many times. Sparkle Center is where I do not know if they have CCTV within Sparkle Center, but because this person had cups of tea, see, obviously kuna hapo, kwa hiyo if there's CCTV hapo pale alipewa chai, there has to be a footage of him carrying cups. Yeah. Because I don't think alitoa 2 cups randomly somewhere. He must have taken that, he must have bought tea hapo. So if I saw him, yes, I would gladly point out like ndio huyu.
And probably if you say he alighted at Mtito, took some cups, came back, then the bus proceeded to Mombasa. So maybe he alighted at Mombasa, final destination.
I believe he must have alighted at Mombasa.
And the CCTV footage also at the Mombasa offices.
I would I don't know about that because hata mimi mwenyewe nikishuka basi Mombasa, ni shuka basi naingia tuktuk. So I don't know if there are people who shuka basi, they ingia the office. Yeah, so that one I wouldn't tell unless they have CCTV footage outside MASH Plaza in Mombasa, yes. But other than that, I cannot really tell.
And did the conductor tell you how they removed you from the bus, took you to the police station?
Conductor has not talked to me. Conductor refused to give his name. Conductor refused to give his number. Lakini ni mtu namjua manake. I have used MASH enough times, so I know how he looks. I know, I'll be like, ndio ule. I know that conductor. But he refused to give his name to Wesley, refused to give his number. So the only other point of contact that I had was the tuk-tuk person, the tuk-tuk guy. He's anaitwa Paul Kibe. Yeah.
And have you gone back to Mombasa office, MASH Mombasa office?
No, I haven't. Yeah. I haven't gone back to MASH office. Yeah. But I've followed up with them on calls that remained unanswered. Yeah. My friends have, even my friend who mwenye tumekuja naye called several times, even went to Twitter asking, give us, anyone who knows contacts za MASH tafadhali tusaidie. And all those numbers are going unanswered. Even my friends are saying the numbers are going unanswered. Hazishikwi. Na hizo zenye hazishikwi, they're off. So there's also that.